Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to HIMediaTV. I'm Evan from HIMediaTV, and this is Nerd News. Our top story of the day is the PS5 Pro pricing. But we're going to get into our headlines for the day first, starting with the allegedly the iPhone 16 and the iPhone 16 Plus will support AAA games. Elden Ring got a patch to patch 1.14, including balancing for PvP and a nerf for the final boss of the DLC. There's the game The Depths of Avalon is a new co-op dungeon crawler that is now available for free to play on Steam as well. Skyrim players, including myself, panic as Bethesda releases a patch for Oldrim, the legendary edition of Skyrim. That is the version that was released in 2011, along with all the DLC. That updates the game for better compatibility with NVIDIA streaming. Microsoft is to lay off 3% of its global workforce, including about 650 employees, including in additional post-Activision. This is for post-Activision Blizzard cuts. And moving on to our final story of the day, the PS5 Pro has been announced at the tune of $700. It is supposed to feature 60 FPS up to 120 with 4K output ray tracing for compatible games. And it's $700. Now I want to talk about the $700 note real quick. I want to remind everybody that when the PlayStation 4 came out, it wasn't in the middle of a chip shortage and scalped as well, and was itself had an issue of being a Bloodborne box for a good number of time due to the lack of, prominent exclusives. It took, 2 to 3 years for good exclusives to come out. Bloodborne came out in 2016. God of War, the God of War games didn't come out until 2018 at the latest. PlayStation lacked good exclusives. And as such, PlayStation 5 continues that trend, except it's even worse because due to the fact that there was such a low install base on release due to the chip shortage and further struggle because of scalpers, the game companies elected to not go for PlayStation exclusivity. I think the only prominent, game that I would have even considered, like, possibly getting a PS5 even used to play was the Demon Souls remaster. And even then, the amount of people that would want to play the Demon Souls remaster, given the lack of, quality of life improvements that came from later from soft games like Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring and Bloodborne, it's just, in a worse, state. We are 3.5 years removed from the launch of the, PlayStation 5. And at this time, in the PlayStation 4's life cycle, it was selling, it had sold about 60.5 million units. The PlayStation 5's only sold 15.5 by comparison in the same time frame. Also, the amount of exclusive PlayStation games at the time was about 21. The PlayStation, PlayStation 5's, the number of PlayStation 5 exclusives, period. No other one else can play it, period. Just PlayStation 5's, not PlayStation 4's, not PC, period, is 21. There were more on the PlayStation 4 at the same time frame. So let's, be for real. We're not going to get solid PlayStation exclusives for 5 for exclusives for another couple years. And they are already selling a PlayStation, you know, Pro. That being said, the economical route obviously isn't helping either. Consoles, have kind of homogenized in a way. People are, Xbox, the new Xboxes, they're just Game Pass boxes. They are an extension of the PC ecosystem, and Xbox is doing fine. If you get a $300 Xbox and a Game Pass subscription, you're Gucci. It's just people don't want to make exclusives for Xbox either, because most of the people who play it just play it for Game Pass, and most of the Game Pass things are not console exclusives. I can play most of those on PC as well. So what I think people need to kind of understand here is that we are kind of witnessing the death of exclusivity. The PlayStation Pro is good for people who want, that next gen gaming thing, but we are in the middle of a recession. Like there are recession, like people, like if you are living in, depending on your socioeconomic class, you are in a recession. If you are not, upper middle class, you're feeling a recession basically in this country. So, you know, I think the $700 is a tall ask, and I say this, not to be like the PC dude, bro. I say this genuinely. You could get a pre-built, not even like going through the pain in the ass of building your computer, a pre-built standing PC. You get a gaming laptop for $700 and have it, and it be solid. We are very much at a point now where, the consoles have always been the cheaper option. You get a console because you only buy it once and it's everything you need. You're not doing anything else on it but playing games and maybe watching movies, and and you spend a fraction of what you would pay on a computer. This is not the case anymore. $700. If you are that in need of higher fidelity graphics, and you are that much in need for, a faster processing power, the problem is that the PlayStation 5 Pro is not competing with Xbox and Nintendo anymore. It's competing with the PC platform, and it will lose in that regard. Are there going to be people who buy it because of brand loyalty and they've invested so much in their accounts? Sure. But also, you can play PS Now games, including Bloodborne, by the way, on PC using PlayStation Now. So, I think this is, PlayStation has always like leaned for a more expensive premium, price more so, and that's kind of what got them through in a lot of ways. But I think ultimately this is, we are very much in a, pit bull economy. We are in a like struggle economy right now, and this is, I think, not a great indicator that the pricing for this was all thought through. Despite the amount, like the sales of individual games and stuff on the Xbox platform not being great, I still maintain that if you want to play games badly enough, an Xbox is the way to go, because you can buy it for $300, brand new, spend your $20 on fucking Game Pass a month, and then with that, you now can play as many games as you want for free. So the play, if you are, I pity it's like Apple. It's like I pity anybody that is so deep in that ecosystem that they are struggling to this degree. My heart goes out. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to talk to me outside of this video, outside of live streams, or just join the community and be a part of it, you can do so at himedia.gg/discord. Discord links there. We'd love to have you. And given the financial situation of the economy right now, I know this is a tall ask, but if you have the scratch to spare, please consider donating and becoming a supporter at himedia.gg/tip. All of our perks are serviced through our Discord channel, including early access videos, exclusive videos, and more. Your generosity is a blessing, and $1 a month is a boon to my mental health. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate you, and have a great day.